It says the great-grandfather was equipoised.
I told Paul Revere, now Joe's no bum steer. It's from a handicapper that's real sincere.
I'm taking Valentine.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome to another Breeders' Cup edition, a special edition here on Handicappers Corner. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, November 3rd, the second day of the Breeders' Cup. Should be a great day again.
The big day. Since I went to the two-day system, there's great race on Friday, but Saturday classically is always the big day. This is when everybody gets up for your classic Breeders' Cup races, the Juvenile, the Mile, the Classic, of course, which is a great field this year.
Turf races.
12 races. First post for the first race at Saturday is 10:05 a.m. Our time, Pacific time. The first Breeders' Cup race goes at 11:50 a.m., which is the fourth race.
Get up early.
Yeah, get up and at it early, exactly. And of course, the Classic will go about 5:35. That is the 12th race on a great day of racing for Breeders' Cup on the West Coast.
Let's get into the first race. First of 12, we got the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Sprint Preview. Philly Sprint Preview, going 7/8 just to field of 5. I'm going to go to the 5 Sultry Season. Yep. I just think there's a lot of speed in the race. This horse has done nothing wrong, had one start. I know it was for maiden 30. But crushed them. You know, obviously they got away with running the horse for 30.
Yeah. It's not an overly tough field.
No, it's hooking into horses that basically won only one race anyway. So I'm going to try Sultry Season to defeat the one-horse Bears Trooper, who's likely the favorite and likely the best horse in the race. But we'll see if she can handle the 7 furlongs and the rail. And I put the 4-horse Unusual Way in for third. I went 5, 1, and 4.
I went to the 4 Unusual Ways. You mentioned Jeff Bondi's horse, underrated trader Jeff Bondi. Always has him ready. Ramon Dominguez in the attack for him. I like a lot of things about Unusual Way. I put Truly Marie at the John Sadler barn in the second spot. Rosario takes over from Martin Garcia. Pretty good form except for that last race at Santa Anita. Not crazy about that, but put her in for second. And Switch the Lead, one of your favorites. Horses coming out of a couple grade 1s for Patrick Biancone. Julien Leperoux takes over the irons. I went 4, 3, and 2 in the first. On to the second. Another Breeders' Cup Juvenile Preview 100 grander on the tricky 6.5 turf course at Santa Anita. One thing to watch, and this applies to all the races on this weekend at Santa Anita, that tricky downhill turf course. I like horses that have had a start over it. And here I went to the 7-horse, a horse that just broke its maiden over that course, but has an out over that course, which I like. Moulin de Mougin out of the Richard Mandela barn. That's a horse Corey Nakatani re-rides. The second spot I put Upward Spiral, Rafael Bejarano. Takes over, horse that's coming over from overseas. 4 starts, winning the second. Not sure how he'll handle that downhill turf course, but likes the turf, that's for sure. In the third spot, I put One Firm Cat, another one that just went on that turf course, a maiden special weight. Kevin Krager for Peter Miller. I got 7, 2, and 6.
I like the 12-horse in here. I like horses on the outside on this course.
That's true.
Usually the inside couple of posts it's a little tricky because they make a right-hand turn and then a left-hand turn. The outside's generally a little more favorable where you'd like to be positioned. Yeah. I like Miko Margarita. This horse started her career off at Saratoga. Just missed in a good heat, going 5.5 furlongs. Came back about a month later and ran on the dirt. Ran a very fast time of 109 on 1. And I just like the fact that this horse is going to get a good stalking trip. Well, Rosario's been on the horse before. Can either be on the lead or close to it. Going to get a good look at things from the 12 hole, and I respect any horse that's been running at the summer meets in New York, and those are generally the tough races that have the Todd Pletcher horses in them, and those are dirty, tough races that she's been in. So he's been in. I'm going to try him to win it. I put the 3. I went to the Euros after that. I went to the 3 Snow King. Just won a maiden race at Ascot, but still William Buick rides for John Gosden, who used to train in California. John, he wouldn't bring a horse over if he didn't think the horse had half a shot. So put Snow King in for second, and I put the 2 Upward Spiral, filly in the race. A couple of fillies, actually your exactor fillies, Moulin de Mougin and Upward Spiral are both fillies taking on the boys, but both have good form as well. But I went 12, 3, and 2. On to the third race. 7 furlongs will be the distance and get through 14 horses here in the second.
Yeah, it's a big one here.
A few pages.
Damascus, 100 grander for 3-year-olds.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the outside of the 7, Surbond. Kind of impressed with his runner-up effort. Off the layoff to Saratoga Snacks. This horse had some nice form at the fairgrounds. looked like he might have been kind of a Derby candidate. Been running against Z Dagger, Proper Empire, all horses that went in the went over to at the fairgrounds and went into the Derby there, and I like the way he finished off February with that 7-length win. He's a horse that can come off the pace, likes the regular dirt. But the big key for me is that comeback race at Belmont. That was a wicked time, 134 and 1/5. That's huge. And this horse was running on after a tardy beginning from the rail. The horse has been working well. Looks like there's a bit of speed in here. I think he may be the best horse. Let's try the 7, Sorbonne. I went to the 3, Politically Correct, for second. Nice win in the Oklahoma Derby at 1 1/8 miles. This shortened up to 7 furlongs. But this horse has shown some ability going 7 furlongs. Look at that run in February at Gulfstream. It shows a horse at least can go 7/8 and be productive. And I put the 4, Mile High Magic, out of the Bob Baffert barn. Baffert and Bejarano should likely have a good day again.
Yeah.
Good second to Explain at the Fairplex. Prior to that, good runs. This horse is a nice horse, good quality horse by Roman Ruler, and I put him in for third. I went 7, 3, and 4.
I have that horse on top, Mile High Magic,
Yep,
the Baffert Bejarano horse. That, as I mentioned before, I think Baffert is locked and loaded for a big weekend. He's on his home court. All systems go for him. The second spot I put Politically Correct. Wesley Ward's horse, Joel Rosario rides, coming off a win in the Ohio Derby. Wesley Ward is a really underrated trainer. He usually bats at a pretty high percentage. He's 21% on the year. Rosario knows this course well. Of course, it's a homecoming of sorts for him coming back to California for this weekend. And the third spot I put Sorbonne, Le Peru and Asmussen. The horse you mentioned, big monster effort last time, that 134 and 1, just getting beat 4 lengths. 4, 3, and 7 for me. And now for the Breeders' Cup races. These are the ones that we've been waiting for. The fourth race is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. So, of course, a turf race in the Breeders' Cup. I go to the Euros. I landed on the 3, George Vancouver, named for, of course, the namesake of our city here. Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore rides for him. All top connections coming in here. He's a Henry the Navigator. They paid almost $500,000, paid $450 for McKeeneland. He's got a 339 turf number. He's already just got beat 3/4 of a length in a Grade 1 in France. 11 horses in that field that day. Just a lot of signs say go for me on George Vancouver. He does have 2 in the race. He's also got the 14-horse Lions of Battle. I think George Vancouver was the one I landed on instead. The second horse I went to Dundonau. Another Euro coming in. Horse has only run 4 times. He's got 2 wins, a second and a third. The last one was in a Grade 2 in Great Britain at Doncaster. Only got beat a half a length. That was going 7 furlongs. This horse hasn't run a mile yet, but it doesn't look like it'll be a problem. He's won going 7 furlongs. He broke his maiden going 7 furlongs by 12 at Lingfield, so I don't think that's a problem. James Doyle rides for Roger Charlton. And the third spot, I have number 2. I got a Euro try here. I got Artigiano, Godolphin's horse, Frankie Dettori. Another one, 6 starts, a win, 2 seconds and a third. All in, Grade 2s. Mostly 4 Grade 2s he's running after he broke his maiden, all with Frankie Dettori. He knows this horse well. He comes over here and lands on a horse he knows well. One little note, I just want to throw this in. The one horse, Summit County, is out of Socorro County, a horse that my
dad trained, and Ralph Jeziak bred right here in British Columbia.
Glenn Kelly and my dad owned her. She was a BC bred Older Mare here a couple times. Robert Skelly rode her to victory in a few stakes races. So something interesting to watch. Another Vancouver
Socorro
connection
nice,
with the one horse, Summit County.
Yeah, good note there. Yeah, Socorro County, of course, the dam of number 1, Summit County.
So it was 3, 6, and 2 for me, just to recap.
Okay. I'm probably making a bit of an error here, steering away from the Euros. I like them, but I not in the win. I'm going to try the 9-horse Noble Tune. I went back and looked. It's a nice thing about NYRA and the New York Racing Association. They have a nice replays, free racing replays, and you can go and watch them. And Noble Tune, this horse is a monster. I know maybe he's not running against a lot, but this horse is a lot of horse. The 9-horse Noble Tune. Yeah. Ramon Dominguez could have rode a couple other horses in here. He chooses this one. Probably going to need to be a lot of horse, though, to defeat Artigiano, who I got in the second spot, running those Group 2 races in England at Newmarket. And, very competitive in Group 2s as well. So, and Frankie Dettori. And I put the 6, Dundonell with James Doyle, another one competitive in those Group 2s. Those are good races, top tracks. Maybe not top tracks for Dundonell, but definitely for the 2 Artigiano. Anytime you're running at Newmarket or Ascot or Goodwood, those are the premier
those are the
race
Churchill
meets,
Downs, the Santa
in England. So I went 9, 2, and 6. I'm going to take a shot on the 9 horse, though, Noble Tune, who's been really much untested in New York, but he'll certainly get tested on Saturday. Okay, on to the 5th race. This is the Filly and Mare Sprint. Grade 1 event, 6 furlongs. Obviously, the horse to beat is the 9 Groupie Doll. I mean, ever since she's gone in blinkers, she is undefeated and really winning easily in those races as well. I'm going to try and beat her with a 3-horse Dustin Diamonds, a horse that I liked last time at good odds, and a nice win in the Gallant Bloom at Belmont Park, set off the speed, a very quick pace, and ran on to defeat the favorites that day and did it quite convincingly. We'll see how the track is playing. It's the nice thing about watching the races on Friday and watching the early races on Saturday is to see if speed's dominating or if it's deep and closers are doing well. So that'll give you a good indication of who may come out on top in this one. But if the speed's doing well, I definitely like the 3 Dustin Diamonds because there's really only maybe one other strong speed horse, and I think this horse can track a little bit and maybe might be able to get first run on Groupie Dolls. So I went 3 and 9, and I put the 6 horse, Turbulent Descent, who's kind of fallen out of, not as consistent as she used to be. Still a top class filly, though. I've got her in for 3rd, but I like the 3 and 9. That's my exactor in here. I think those are your 2 horses. I went 3, 9, 6.
Absolutely, I got the same ones, but I put Groupie Doll on top. She's just too good right now. She's what I would say kind of like my best bet of the day. She's going to be a handful. I do have Dustin Diamonds in 2nd, as you mentioned. In the 3rd spot, I put Musical Romance, the mare that won this race last year. So she's nice little overnight stake at Calder last time. She won. Maybe that gets her going the right way again. I got her in 3rd spot. I went 9, 3, and 8 in the Filly Mare Sprint.
On to the mile.
On to the Dirt Mile. Really good race. And another local connection here. Horse who ran 2nd in our BC Derby here a few years back, Jersey Town. I got him on top. That run in the Kelso was a monster race. He gets 110 buyer for that. Castellano obviously sticks with him off that. He's really found a new life in New York. Since moving back east, he's become a force to be reckoned with. Been running against all the top horses out there. And like I say, I think he's really coming into it off a peak effort. A perfect mile race in the Kelso. Dominating that 1 by 3 over Shackelford, who's going to be one of your favorites in here. I actually have him in the 2nd spot off that race. And another guy who's going to be a short price in here is probably MC, the 7 horse. When you look at the buyers he's been posting, he's only run 7 times in his life. 5 of them he's posted buyers in the hundreds, which is pretty impressive. But I like Jersey Town. I think he's the now horse. I think he's coming into the race in perfect form. Shackelford in 2nd, real popular, hard trying horse, and MC in 3rd. I went 3, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I've gone to the 7 MC. I think this is probably the most gifted horse in the race.
Yeah.
This horse isn't the most.
As I mentioned, only ran 7 times.
Yeah, right? and like you said, 5 of them are 100 buyers, and his worst buyers a 94 his debut. So he's a legitimate quality horse. Yeah. I like the draw. The 7 hole I think is going to be perfect for him. I think the 6 Shackelford is probably the fastest. Will kind of maybe clear Fed Biz and Delegation, and that way MC can get into the 2 path and really be dangerous from there, because MC I think is the best horse by far. He showed it in the Forego. This horse got through on the rail even on him. He was 3 wide and just drew away. He was toying with the competition. And I definitely think MC is your best horse. The horse that may end up getting the best trip is the 3 Jersey Town, because he lets the speed go. And if there's a 3-horse speed duel or a 3-horse speed wall, he's the one that's going to be sitting right in behind it. And as long as he doesn't get blocked in, I think Jersey Town's going to be dangerous as well. He's a horse that has that good positional speed. And just a short run to the first turn at Santa Anita, because it is a 2-turn race, a mile. But I think a horse that you definitely need on your tickets. And I put the 1-horse Rail Trip. I don't know if he's a miler or not, but
he knows this course well.
But yeah, he's the only time he's lost was last time in the Awesome again when he was defeated by Game On Dude. Didn't want to run against Game On Dude in the Classic, so what was what was Ron Ellis's next best option? It's the mile, and there's no super horse in here. Like Game On Dude, I would class as a super horse. There's no even though I like MC, he's not a super horse. He's not a monster that can't be beat. And Rail Trip, if the pace scenario is right. Could be quite dangerous, and and get maybe better than third, which is what I'm giving him. So I went 7, 3, and 1. I definitely like the 7 OMC.
And I want to make a note here too. The horse to watch in here too is Second City, our Derby winner here at Hastings this year, with Mary Gutierrez in the irons. Another one you can make a case for. He's got a really nice form on him, and that last race, the Indiana Derby,
it was
just
brutal trip. Throw out 5 wide the whole race.
Toss that. It was a nightmare trip. Mary was supposed to ride him that day.
Got Marlon St. Julien.
Got Marlon St. Julien, who hasn't been the same rider since he rode the Kentucky Derby about 8 or 9 years ago. Mary rode. He's had enough in Keeneland that day. They tried to get him to Indiana Downs in time to ride this race, and he didn't make it in time, which was very unfortunate.
That's an understatement for Second City. But yes,
what one to watch in there?
This year's BC Derby winner, and 3 years ago BC Derby runner-up by Jersey Town. So lots of interest, local interest in the Dirt Mile. All right, on to the 7th. On to the
7th, the Turf Sprint. Of course, you say turf, I say Euro.
Down on the hill.
Actually, no, this one I didn't. Just I'm so used to taking the Euro, especially these turf races. I went to the 13. This is what I mentioned. Down the hill is a
14.
Very strange kind of race. You know, it's not for everybody. I did look at the 14, Andrew Bryan's horse, but I went to the 13 on Bridle's note. He's coming out of the Grade 3 Eddie D, but it was over this course. I think Asmussen obviously brought him out to California to get him a trip over this course because it's tricky, right? As you say, you got the
right-hand turn,
left-hand turn,
across the dirt,
over the dirt, where a lot of horses kind of fan out, don't really know what's going on. So I like Unbridled Note. I think Asmussen did the right thing by getting a horse a trip over the course. I got 13. The second spot, I have the 9, Bridgetown. One of Todd Pletcher, the dangerous Pletcher-Velasquez combination. This horse has been running in 5.5 races, mostly back east, but 200 buyers his last two wins in a row. He's coming into the right, the right kind of form. He's kind of a now horse. Got a 4:15 for the distance of Tomlinson. He's a Speedstown out of a Tabasco Cap mare. He's going to be right there, I think. In the third spot, I put the horse who won this race. Last time it was ran over this course is California Flag. He's 8 years old now. Maybe a little bit of rust on him, but Brian Corner knows how to have one ready. He just comes off a Grade 3 win over this course. So he's running into his old form, I think. I like this horse. I picked him the day he won it over this course 3 years ago in California. So I'll put California Flag, maybe a bit of a sentimental pick. I got 13, 9, and 1.
Yeah, I definitely can make a good case for the 1 California Flag, but I've got him in the second spot. I agree. Speed is dangerous and not crazy about the rail.
I don't like the 1 hole.
He's just gunning and going anyway. But I went to the 10 horse Corporate Jungle. I think this horse, he's been in some nice Grade 1 races, those mile races, but he's just not getting position. For some reason, maybe he's just not good enough. Wise Dan, he's ran into in his last 2 starts. And he did encounter some trouble against Geronimo in the Shoemaker Mile. So I can give him I can forgive him for those last 3 runs. And this 6.5 furlong race has come up with a pile of speed in it. You're going to get California Flag, Great Mills, the filly Renee's Got Zip, another filly Misdirection likes to be near the Chosen Miracle on the outside. Unbridled's Note likes to be near the pay. I just see Bridgetown. I just see like a big clump of horses up near the lead, and then there may be a bit of a gap back to a little area where he can settle the 10 horse Corporate Jungle into a nice spot, and he's got a really good move. Chad Brown's, for those of you who don't know him, he used to be Robbie Frankel assistant. Yeah. He's one of the top turf trainers probably the top turf trainer back east at Belmont and the New York racing circuits, and at Gulfstream. But Corporate Jungle and Javier Castellano, give this horse a good long look. I like this horse a lot.
You'll notice too, a lot of times in these races, down the hill, around the turns, a lot of times it's a closer. Like down the lane there, the closers tend to really enjoy this course.
Because they do fan out. Yeah. I mean, they don't all hold their position lapped onto each other.
Especially across the track.
Across the dirt, they all spray, and so your rider has to pick a right hole to go through.
But you don't generally get stopped as much as you might in a classic 6.5 race.
But I do like Corporate Jungle. I put California Flag in for second, and I put the 13 horse Unbridled Note. Obviously, as you mentioned, a good run over the course, had a chance to get familiarized.
It's all part of the master plan of Asmussen.
Yes. So I went 10, 1, and 13 in the sprint, the turf sprint. On to the 8th race. This is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Colts and Gelding's going to go a mile and a 16th on the main track. Field of 9. I'm going to go to the 4 horse Shanghai Bobby. He's been brilliant back east.
Like a handful.
Yeah, that was a not a fast track he was on in the Champagne. That was a dead track. Dreaming of Julia ran that day in the Philly. I think it was a Frizette or whatever it was. Went 137. This horse went 35 and 3 or 2 and was like full of run. Anytime you're coming home with 24 and change on a dead track, that's impressive with a 2-year-old. So I'm going to try Shanghai Bobby. Hopefully he makes the trip over okay and handles the no Lasix. I put the 3 horse. He's had enough in for second. Had no chance in the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland. This horse was stymied down on the inside of horses. Mario was just stuck, nowhere to go. Every time he tried to get off the rail and get a lane to run in, he kept getting bounced back down to the rail, and they were a lot of shoving going on. He didn't get beat much at all, but he's a nice quality horse, and I think you'll enjoy a smaller field here. We only got 9 horses, not as much traffic, and there could be a bit of pace on. So I'm going to give him a shot. And I put the 9, Power Broker. Obviously, Baffert and Bay around all strong connections, and a big run in the front runner last time, formerly called the Norfolk. It was the Santa Anita Prep for the Breeders' Cup in recent years, so he won easily and looked good that day. So I went 4, 3, and 9, but I think Shanghai Bobby looks really good.
I have the same horses. I got Shanghai Bobby on top. Definitely looks like really a handful. Just destroying his opponents. Rosie Napravnik. Maybe I was actually talking to somebody about this yesterday. Maybe kind of taking over for Julie Crone as the best female
really
rider
good.
maybe of all time. Looks really good on a horse, strong rider. This could be definitely a Breeders' Cup win for her. I put Power Broker in the second spot. Baffert, Bayerano.
Yep.
As you mentioned, strong connections. This horse is going the right direction. Just comes off that romp in the front runner stakes. And I put He's Had Enough. Mario and Doug O'Neill read him, the Derby connections. Obviously, a bit of a play on the I'll Have Another name. He's had enough.
I'll have another. No, he's had enough.
He's had enough. I hate it when they tell me that. As Mike mentioned, just throw out that last race. They threw him right into the Oak Tree Juvenile off his maiden win. They think a lot of this horse. Now they come back in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. They think a lot of this horse. These are not foolish guys just taking a shot. They think they got a big shot to win it. Here's hoping Mario can. I got 4, 9, and 3. Same horse as Mike, just switch the order up a little bit. On the 9th, the Breeders' Cup Turf. Pretty sure I went to a Euro in here, and I did. I went to the horse that won it last year, St. Nicholas Abbey. Aidan O'Brien's horse, his son Joe O'Brien in the tack. They won this race last year. This horse has a really good form on. What worries me is the Arc de Triomphe. I don't know what happened that day. It says, weakened. Obviously, I don't have the luxury.
Probably a soft ground. I think it's a really soft turf, and he ain't going to hit soft turf at Santa Anita.
No,
so
he's not.
Okay.
It will be
He's
definitely
firm
firm and fast. As I mentioned, Aidan O'Brien, this horse won the race last time. These guys know what they're doing. They come here with a purpose. I got St. Nicholas Abbey on top. The second spot, I went way to the 12th Trailblazer, a horse coming out of Japan. Another part of the master plan here, I believe. They brought him over. They got a run over the course on the turf here at Santa Anita. Just got beat a half by Obviously, who shows up a couple races later.
In the mile.
In the mile against Wise Dan and them. Utaki Taki is kind of the Bill Shoemaker of Japanese racing. He's been the leading rider over there forever. He's coming over. He came over and rode this horse already once in that prep. Yeah. So Trailblazer looks very live. And the third spot I put Point of Entry, John Velasquez horse. This horse has won 5 in a row. All in, grade 2, grade 1, grade 1, grade 1, running against the best in the East and beating him. 104, 105 buyer last time. He's a dynaformer. He's got the turf breeding. Lots of things to like about Point of Entry. I have him in the third spot. 3, 12, and 1 for him.
Yeah, I've got the same 3 horses. I see it exactly the same way, except I've gone to the 12 Trailblazer to win it. As you mentioned, good run over the course at Santa Anita. It was too short for him, the mile race, but still he produced a good run, and it took a horse to run in 131 and 4 to beat him.
And look at his earnings too. He's made $3 million, right?
He's a quality horse.
Not a mistake.
But he got beat by a good, solid horse that was at its best distance. Obviously, is a miler, and this horse was just in for a race and almost got a win in a grade 2 race. I put the 1 Point of Entry in for second. Not crazy about the opponents he's been beating, but I like the way he's been doing it. I mean, he's not beating much in those races, but the times have been good.
But he's winning.
And he's doing what he has to do. I mean, it's not his fault. He's not running against anything gifted, but he'll get that chance today. And I put the 3, St. Nicholas Abbey, the O'Briens together here on last year's Breeders' Cup winner, definitely a 1.5 mile suits, and see if he can handle
Yeah,
that.
you know, he can get the
the
distance.
firmer Santa Anita track as opposed to the kinder Churchill track that he seemed to like last year. But I went 12, 1, and 3. On to the 10th race, the Breeders' Cup Sprint. I'm going to go to the 10-horse Smiling Tiger. I like this one. Freshened up for Jeff Bondy.
Bondy's horse, yeah.
Yep. Freshened up, gets Ramon Domingue. I just love Ramon being on this horse. Nice draw on the outside. This horse has been stuffed down on the inside. Some critical races earlier this year. He stuffed down on the inside. Just didn't get the proper trips, and he failed his heavy favorite. But he obviously needed a break. They tried him on the Poly at Belmont in his last start, the Grade 1 Triple Bend, but he failed miserably that day. Freshened up. Love the works, though. He's been going great guns. I love sprinters that have been freshened up. They don't need recent racing sprinters. They need to be recharged. 6 furlongs. You need to have every ounce of energy, and you need to be beaming with muscle tone, everything. You need to be rocking and rolling and ready to go. And Smiling Tiger looks like he's ready to go. Jeff Bondy's an excellent sprint trainer, and I like Smiling Tiger. Went to the 2 Jimmy Creed for second. He was compromised by a tough trip last time. He was shuffled in many spots. Had to kind of tried to go through on the inside, which wasn't the place to be at Santa Anita that day, and he had to settle for third behind Coyle and Capital Account. I think he can beat those two. Whether those two are the ones to beat, Coyle and Capital Account, I'm not sure yet. But Jimmy Creed is better. I think he's better than those two. He's a young horse. He's improving, and I think he will, if he can get to the outside with Garrett Gomez. This horse he'll be flying in the lane. And I put the 3-horse Gantry, newcomer coming in from the Midwest. He's been freshened up as well, and the works are solid. I respect Javier Castellano being on the horse as well. But I went 10, Smiling Tiger, 10, 2, 3.
All right, I like that pick, Mike. Smiling
10,
Tiger.
2, 3.
Love to see Jeff Bondy win this race. I, however, went to one of your likely favorites, Coyle, Baffert, Garcia. Well, as I mentioned before, I think Baffert's going to have a big weekend. This is home court advantage. This horse just won a Grade 1 over this very exact same trip, so I give him the edge. As Mike mentioned, Jimmy Creed did get in some trouble that way. Maybe I'm making a mistake ignoring him. The second spot I put number 7, the Lumber Guy. John Velasquez is mountain here. He was off since May, came back in September in the Grade 1 Vosburg at Belmont and won that in 110 buyer. So maybe he bounces off that. I don't know. They've given him some time off. It's going to be about 5 weeks between races for that. So I think he's got enough time under his belt. You mentioned that nice little freshener under his belt to run a big one. And the third spot I put Fast Bullet.
He's been freshened.
He has been freshened. He hasn't run in a year, but Baffert knows what he's doing, obviously. And he's got bullets. That 58 and 3 worked back in the 21st. You know, this horse is, I think, going to be ready. He's only going 6 furlongs, so it doesn't bother me a layoff as much as it would in a longer race. And lots of things to like. Other than the layoff, the 425 for the distance stands out. Horse has never been beat. Gets Joe Talamo. I really like Joe Talamo, guy having a big meet, so I'll take the other Baffert horse in third. I got 4, 7, and 6 in the sprint. On to the 11th, the Breeders' Cup Mile. Great race, classic race, mile on the turf. And of course, I went to Aidan O'Brien again. Celebration. His son, Joe, in the irons on this one, too. The horse is coming off 2 wins. The last one was the Queen Elizabeth Stakes at Ascot. You can bet that's a tough field there. He won it by 3. He won it handily. He's going the right way for sure. He's coming in this race very tough. He's run a mile 8 times in his life, 4 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. 14 starts on the turf. He's won over half of them. He's won 8 of them. He's a nice horse. He's probably your likely favorite in this race. Second favorite, I'd say Wise Dan's probably your favorite. I have him in the second spot. Look at those numbers: 117 buyer, 100 buyer, 109, 108, 105. This horse likes to win. 12 out of 19, and a mile is definitely his ballpark. He's won 3 miles in a row, 2 of them on the turf. Sorry, the last 3 on the turf. And I took Celebration over him, but Wise Dan is probably.
He's the best U.S.-based.
Yeah, he's the best U.S.-based horse. I'm trying to beat him with the Euro. And the third horse I put, obviously, another horse that's on a 3-race win streak. All of those in a mile, all of them on the turf. All kind of, the last one was, it's a grade 2 over this exact course. Joe Talamo I like, Mike Mitchell, top conditioner in California. I went 6, 2, and 3 in the Breeders' Cup Mile.
Yeah, I've gone to the 2 Wise Dan, Johnny Velasquez for Charlie Lepresti. Just a good quality horse. He doesn't lose very often.
No, he doesn't.
He for some reason has really taken a shining to the turf, and he's really not bred over the top for it, but he's taken a shining to it. He's a good miler, a really good miler. This horse is winning with authority. This horse is hitting the finish line powerfully. He's beating his horse. He's crushing his opponents, and he'll need a top effort to defeat the 6 X Celebration, who is obviously the next best horse. Looks like he'd be undefeated on form if it wasn't for Frankel. He's lost to Frankel 4 times, who unquestionably is the best horse in the world. Or I'd like to have seen him over here, but he's retired to being undefeated. But he's run into Frankel in his losses, and he's winning those Group 1 races like with authority, and he's another nice horse as well. And I put the 9 horse, so I'm going to give this one a shot. Moonlight Cloud, another one Thierry Jarnet rides and goes on the Lasix program. He was a troubled 4th behind X Celebration 2 starts back, and came back to win a Group 1 race on the Prix de Moulin, which is usually the horse that wins the Prix de Moulin comes back in the Breeders' Cup and generally runs pretty good. And so I give this horse a shot as well. I went 2, 6, and 9, but I really like Wise Down. On to the 12th and final, the Breeders' Cup Classic.
It all comes down to this.
Game on, baby. Game on, dude.
Game on, dude.
Certainly looks like the horse to beat. Home course, has speed, going to be in position. I like him to win it. I put the 8 Nonios in for second. He did run a good second to Game On Dude without any pace. Game On Dude let the speed go and sat a comfortable trip in second. He went 48 for the half, and that didn't play out well for Nonios. If for some reason the pace scenario and the big $5 million purse gets everyone a little crazy early, then Nonios could be the one running on late. Same for the 9 Richards Kid, who's had some troubles in his runs, and I think the prices will be right on the 8 Nonios and the 9 Richards Kid. If you're looking for a horse to beat Game On Dude, you're stuck in the last race, you've had a horrible Saturday, and you're trying to get out, and Game On Dude ain't getting you out. So Nonios and Richards Kid might be there. I went 5, 8, and 9.
I agree. Game On Dude, definitely the boss of the race. He's the horse they got to beat. Home court advantage, everything points to him. The second spot I put Fort Larned. This is a horse kind of disappointed last time. He had a wide trip. He was the favorite that day. Before that, he was beating Ron the Greek flat out. Awesome, successful Dan. He's been beating tough horses. Give him a little time off. Come back in September, and maybe he just needed the race. Now he comes in the Breeders' Cup. I like Fort Larned a lot. I think he'll excel at the distance. He's run the distance twice, got to win in the third. And then third spot, I did it. I took Mario. Handsome Mike. It's going to be a bit of a shot, but the year that Mario's had, nothing would surprise me.
I know.
So coming off $1 million race in the Pennsylvania Derby, big win that day, win by a couple. And like I say, everything's gone Mario's way this year. It's just been a Cinderella year for him. So
it's been a Cinderella year for BC racing.
It sure has.
You got exactly. Like a BC rider winning the Kentucky Derby, got a BC bred and a BC rider winning the Queen's Plate, straight to Dover and Justin Stein.
That's right. We got Commander in the.
Let's throw in a Breeders' Cup Classic. It's a little icing on the cake.
You got Commander in the Breeders' Cup race. You got Second City and Jerseytown running in the Breeders' Cup.
It's a lot of local interest.
Exactly.
In the races.
Class included, of course, in the Ladies' Classic. So I'm going to cap it all off. I got Handsome Mike in the third spot. It doesn't make much sense. Game On Dude and Fort Larned I really like. But I would have put Handsome Mike on top, but I'm not, I don't want to put the hex on him. So I'll put him in third spot, but I'll be cheering for him, that's for sure. I got 5, 4, and 7.
All right, there's our analysis of the Saturday, November 3rd races from Santa Anita, the Breeders' Cup 29. Up next on screen will be a quick recap of our picks, and there they are. Here's mine. Back in race number 1, I went to the 5 Sultry Season. Race 2, I went to the 12 Miko Margarita, 12-3-2. Third race, I went to the 7 Serbond, 7-3-4. Fourth race, number 9 Noble Tune, 9-2 and 6. Fifth race, number 3 Dust and Diamonds. Dust and Diamonds to defeat the 9 Groupie Doll, but went 3-9 and 6. In the 6th race, I went to the 7 MC, 7-3 and 1. Race 7, I went to the 10 Corporate Jungle, 10-1-13. In the 8th race, number 4 Shanghai Bobby, 4-3 and 9 in the 8th. In the 9th race, I went to the 12 Trailblazer, 12-1-3. 10th race, number 10 the Smiling Tiger, 10-2 and 3. In the 11th race, I went to the 2 Wise Dan, 2-6-9. And in the 12th race, I went to the 5 the Dude, Game On Dude, 5-8-9.
And over to my picks. In the first, I went to the 4 Unusual Way over the 3 and the 2. In the second, I went to Moulin de Mugen over the 7 over the 2 and 6. Excuse me. In the third, I went to the 4 Mile High Magic over the 3 and the 7. In the 4th, I went to the 3, George Vancouver over the 6 and the 2. In the 5th, I went to your favorite, my best bet of the day, number 9, Groupie Doll over the 3 and the 8. In the 6th, I went to the 3, Jersey Town over the 6 and the 7. In the 7th, I went way to the outside to the 13, Unbridled Note over the 9 and the 1. In the 8th, I agree with Mike on number 4, Shanghai Bobby over the 9 and the 3. In the 9th, I look for him to repeat his effort last year, number 3, St. Nicholas Abbey over the 12 and the 1. In the 10th, I went to the Baffert horse, number 4, Coil over the 7 and the 6. In the 11th, I went back to Aidan O'Brien again, number 6, Celebration over the 2 and the 3. And in the nightcap, back to Mr. Baffert again, number 5, Game On Dude over the 4. And the 7, Mario Gutierrez on Handsome Mike. And that'll do it.
Oh, that'll do it for our analysis and selections for day number 2 of the Breeders' Cup 29, Saturday, November the 3rd. As you mentioned, 10 o'clock first post, 11:50 the first Breeders' Cup race. Lots of local interest in these races as well. So come on down to the Derby or go to Hastings, go to Fraser Downs.
Just watch it.
Sit at home
wherever
and
you can.
enjoy,
Make sure you see it,
which should be a very entertaining afternoon. And don't forget the Derby Bar and Grill's open here 7 days a week. Mondays and Tuesdays, they do show Turf Paradise. Check on the website for times. I think it'll be open till 3 or 2.
Yeah, we'll stay open for the Turf Paradise card for sure.
So on the
Lots
Mondays
of
and
local horses
Tuesdays,
down
but
there,
Wednesday to Sunday we're open till dinner time, and so come on down here to the Derby Bar and Grill. Lots of great simulcasting throughout the winter. So good luck in your Breeders' Cup adventures. Should be a great afternoon. Two days of excellent, the best of the best competing on the big stage at Santa Anita. On behalf of Drew, I've been Mike. Once again, good luck in your wagers, and we'll see you next time here on Handicappers Corner.
Oh, there's here in the telegram. Epitaph.
I got the horse.
Right.